Welcome. I didn't make a video yesterday, so to make up for that, I'm doing a Bloodborne bosses tier list. Let's go. Okay, first we have Amygdala. This boss is actually pretty fun. All the bosses are kind of easy though, but that's only because I just spam Comp Chalice to get those easy blood echoes. So I'm like way over leveled for all of them by the time I fight them. Anyway, Amygdala, I like the design. The boss fight itself is pretty interesting. Overall, I'd give it B tier. I like the boss, but it's not like my favorite, it's just kind of there. What's this? This is Bloodstarved Beast. C tier. When I'm not over leveled, this thing's a pain in my ass. However, at the same time, if you just spam blood Molotov cocktails, or whatever the fuck they're called, pungent blood cocktail, you can kind of just stun lock it in a corner and then just keep dodging to the left and you should be fine. Overall, it's an okay boss fight. Although, to be fair, if you are going to use the Comp Chalice, Bloodstarved Beast is the real final boss of the game. Okay, Cleric Beast, everyone's first boss, pretty much, unless you skip it for some reason, which I didn't even know. Bloodstarved Beast was optional at first. I thought it was manual, but apparently it is optional. But like, who the hell skips Cleric Beast? B tier. It's more fun than Bloodstarved Beast, and it is the Cleric Beast is far more iconic than Bloodstarved. But I do like Amygdala better. Dark Beast Parl, I love this boss fight. Design is epic. The bolt is epic. Also, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a feline-like beast, which is interesting lore-wise, because most of them are like wolves or canine-like creatures, except for Parl for some reason, which is interesting. I wonder why that is. But yeah, A tier. Abretus, yes, one of my favorite weapons. S tier. I love Abretus. She's pretty chill for an Eldritch Abomination, and like I said, she is also one of my favorite weapons, the Augur of Abretus. Gascoigne. Gascoigne's a pain in the ass, but he's a fun pain in the ass. B tier. He has a lot of personality for a boss, and he has kind of a tragic backstory. Well, I mean, it's Bloodborne though, so everyone has a fucking tragic backstory. But yeah, I like Gascoigne. Yeah, B tier seemed pretty good. Gehrman. Gehrman's cool, I guess. Although he's kind of a dick in the lore. B tier. His fight's alright. I never really cared for Gehrman, he's just kind of there to me. Yeah. But I mean, it's Gehrman, he's like one of the final bosses, so I'm not going to put him in like C tier. Lady Maria. This shit is easy if you spam Augur of Abretus, which is why Abretus is an S tier. She is kind of cool though. A tier. Yes. Yeah, that works. Lawrence. Technically the villain, although he had good intentions at first. To be honest, if I found miraculous blood that could heal pretty much anything, I would also try and basically do what he did. The church spiraled out of control though. A tier though. I like Lawrence. He's just like me for real. Oh well, Living Failures is literally me. Just kidding. Okay, something I always found odd about the Living Failures is how they have the best soundtrack in the game, for no fucking reason. I mean, they're like, what, blobs of whatever the fuck they are? And they're not even like that important, I don't think. It's kind of there. But for some reason, they gave them the most banger soundtrack in the entire game, for no reason. Honestly, I wouldn't care about Living Failures at all. Like, I would just put them in D tier, but because of how banger their soundtrack is, I'll put him in C tier. Ligarius. Now this dude's pretty nutty actually, if you think about it. This man decided he'd get frozen for a while just because he fucking hates that vampire chick. Now this man has his priorities straight. He was like, just fuck you all, I'm gonna sit here forever. Which is kind of dope. B tier. Other than that though, I don't really care for him. Ah yes, Ludwig. This is the best boss in the game, hands down. Top of S tier. Ludwig is dope. Another interesting thing about Ludwig is for some reason he's a horse-like beast, whereas the others are pretty much wolves. Kind of like how Dark Beast Parl is like a cat. For some reason Ludwig's a horse. So for the first half of the fight, it's pretty interesting already because he's like fucking crazy. He's more like a beast and tries to, yeah, you know what I mean. But then the second half is where shit gets real. He starts talking and shit and gets a sword that is a moonlight sword, which is automatically very cool. Also, his soundtrack is probably the second best soundtrack in the game, second to Living Failures, which I still don't understand why Living Failures had such a good soundtrack. I don't know who the fuck thought the Living Failures should do that, but I mean, I'm not complaining, I guess. The second best song belongs to Ludwig though. That shit is a straight banger. Next up, the fuck is that? Is that Murgo's Wet Nurse? I think that is Murgo's Wet Nurse. Murgo's Wet Nurse is interesting. Something I find weird though is like half of her is invisible, but you could still see her hands and shit. So it's like, is she invisible or not? Pick a side, bitch. B tier though, I don't really care for her. Some of her attacks are interesting though. She's overall just kind of easy, I don't really give a crap. Mikolash. I'll put Mikolash at A tier. So for some reason a lot of people hate Mikolash, but he's not even that hard. A Call Beyond is really easy to dodge, just dodge forward. None of them can hit you if you just dodge forward. It's not that fucking hard, just press a single fucking button. Mikolash has a lot of personality though. Like he's laughing and ranting a bunch of crazy shit. He has a big ass cage on his head. Yeah, he's pretty cool, I like him. Okay, Moon Presence. I'll put Moon Presence at the top of B tier. Don't really give a fuck for Moon Presence. But I mean, Moon Presence is cooler than like... Wait, is that Moon Presence? Yeah, it is. Moon Presence is cooler than these ones though. But Moon Presence is kind of easy. Although there's that one attack I find interesting where its eye thing lights up or whatever. Yeah, Moon Presence is top of B tier for me. I think this is the One Reborn. Yeah, that is the One Reborn. One Reborn is a pretty easy fight. I like it though. I actually think I like One Reborn better than fucking Moon Presence. One Reborn is a super interesting fight and Gravelord Nito type beat. Yeah, that sounds good. Orphan of Cause. This thing took me a while to beat actually. Orphan's pretty interesting. For something that was kind of just born, I guess. This thing is pretty strong. It also has interesting attacks. It also might be Gehrman's kid, from what I've heard. There's some theories about that. I think I'll put Orphan of Cause bottom of A tier. Like, he's just bordering on B tier, though. Like, he's cool, I guess. But he's still just a screaming lunatic baby that, for some reason, has its mother's placenta and throws that shit around like a fucking boomerang. Rom the Vacuous Spider. This boss is the border. This thing is like at the very divide between uninteresting and interesting. Its boss fight itself though is kind of annoying as fuck. Does it really need that many fucking spiders? Even when I'm over leveled, sometimes those things body me because they gang up on me. That's my own fault for using the Comfort Chalice though. Other than that, I don't really know the fucking lore behind ROM, and I don't really care. I'll put it at top of C tier. Shadows of Yharnam. They're interesting, I guess. D tier though, I don't really give a fuck about them. Celestial Emissary is calling this thing a boss is an insult to all bosses. It's just an oversized kin. I'll put it at top of D tier. Vicar Amelia. Vicar Amelia is pretty cool. Forgot what her lore was, or what her deal is. But her boss fight's interesting, except for the fact that she can heal. But that's not really a big deal if you use the numbingness. Let's see here. Definitely over Cleric Beast and all of them. I don't know. I think I'll put it before that because I just remembered I do love the amygdala arm, so this thing is also one of my favorite weapons. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, last one. Witch of whatever the fuck. I actually kind of enjoy this boss fight. It's like ROM if ROM was actually fun to fight. Boss is ugly as fuck though, which deduces points off of it. I'll put it at top of D tier, I guess. Actually no, I'll put it bottom of C tier. Yeah. Living Failures deserves... I think Living Failures should be top of C tier actually. Just because of that soundtrack alone. Overall though, I think this is pretty much it. Yeah, this is a pretty solid tier list in my opinion. Another banger. Cue outro, bitches.